Historically speaking, Gadgetzan Auctioneer has proven to be a very strong combo enabler, but with him now being 7 mana, he used to be 5 way back in the day, he's a bit expensive, especially by today's standards, so when I saw a deck utilize him, I just had to try the deck. And the deck in question is Overload Shaman. So the way this deck works is we are trying to access the card Inzah as quickly as possible. Inzah is a 5 mana 5/5 legendary with a battle cry of for the rest of the game, your Overload cards cost 1 less. And the way that we try to find this card more consistently is with Fairy Tale Forest. You've seen this card a time or two in big Shaman decks. This has proven to be a very strong location, especially when you run very little Battlecry minions so that you can tutor out those essential combo pieces. And the only Battlecries that we run are the previously mentioned Inzah and Muckmorpher. So the whole reason for Muckmorpher to be in this deck is simply to just be another Auctioneer that costs 2 mana less. So Muckmorpher is a 5 mana 4/4 that transforms into a 4/4 copy of a different minion in your deck. So we actually get that pre-nerfed Gadgetzan Auctioneer, and we can go kinda crazy with this deck. As for what we have going on with the rest of the 30, we just have a bunch of overload cards that cost either 1, 0, or the only one that we run that's more than that is Crackle, because Crackle is pretty good. It's pretty good at dealing damage to your opponent's head. So what do we do with all these overload cards? We shovel it into a one-hit kill in the form of Overdraft. So this is how we actually end the game. It's a 1 mana tradable spell that has unlock your overloaded mana crystal and deal that much damage, and you can get this up to an insane amount of damage. I think my record so far is 21, and with the other spells like the previously mentioned Crackle and Lightning Bolts, we have no issue finding lethal on our combo turns. Now, you might be thinking, Fruit, this deck seems absolutely insane. Turn 5 wins consistently if you find Fairy Tale Forest. This deck has to be broken. And you would be incorrect. This deck is fine. You're definitely not going to be hitting Legend with this deck. I mostly am highlighting this because I find it very interesting. Of course, Gadgetzan Auctioneer is very iconic to the game, and I could see this sort of strategy being more viable in the future once we get a few more high value overload cards. So wanted to showcase this deck just in case anybody is interested in taking a more interesting combo deck out on the wild ladder. But anyway, if you want to check out the deck for yourself, I'm going to be leaving the deck code down in the description. And if you enjoy Hearthstone content like this, please consider subscribing. It would help out the channel a ton. Anyway, let's get into some games. Warlock opponent. Probably discard if I had to guess. And we did find Fairy Tale Forest, which means we can throw back Inzah. Best card in the deck, not close. First Contact could be some good early game tempo. And Crackle, we can do better than Crackle. Really all we want is just this card. Crackle came back. Fantastic. So, oh, even Warlock. It's been a long time since I've seen even Warlock. In that case, I don't really feel like early game tempo is even that necessary. So I'm just going to end the turn. So, coin Fairy Tale Forest maybe? But honestly, is that even worth it? Like, I feel like the coin might be better for the combo turn. Yeah. Not even going to hero power. They sometimes run cards that like me to have minions, so I'm going to try to keep their cards turned off.
More bones to gnaw on.
Goldshire Knoll. Going to be pressuring me a little bit. There is Inzah for next turn. So hopefully they don't have like something like Dirty Rat or anything like that. So I just need to dodge Dirty Rat this turn. Successfully dodged it. There is Inzah. And I think as long as they don't have, like, the Wind Fury... Actually, they're only on 5 mana next turn. Cool. I don't think I'm dead here. I'm at 25. I mean, their board is absolutely massive, but I'm feeling relatively safe. Okay, Dark Alley Pact will produce a big 9/9. But now it is time to do a bit of comboing, and don't think I'm going to need all that mana. Let's just start throwing some damage at my opponent's head. Some Storm's Wrath. Crackle is better, so I can actually refresh some mana crystals. More 2/2s coming right up. And throw some damage right at my opponent's head. I'm pretty sure I have a lethal, but just in case I don't, I'm just gonna keep on. And you know what? I probably have 11 lockdown mana crystals. Turns out I had 19. Just enough. Just enough damage to get over the finish line. Pretty good. Pretty good deck against a deck that gives you the first 3 or 4 turns to set up. Myself a priest opponent, likely in an aggressive deck. And I typically just want to find Fairy Tale Forest, but just in case I can't, I'm just going to keep Inzah for now. And because they might be on Shadow Priest, I will keep First Contact for some early game tempo. Don't need Auctioneer yet. Ideally, I find Fairy Tale Forest. So there is Benedictus. And no Renathal, so I am going to prioritize some early game tempo.
Job's done.
Okay. I found some early game tempo. The egg is not the best, but there is some slight synergy with Beakered Lightning if I do pick that up.
Package tight for treasure transport.
And they do have the good start. And Mind Searing their own patches turn 1 is a decision. No doubt. So do I take care of the 3/2 or the 1/2? With their hand looking the way it does, I think I'm better off taking care of the 3/2. Now if they go like double pirate this turn, egg on my face, I guess, but I do think saving that little bit of life there will be good.
Relax your mind.
So there is a Brain Masseuse. And a Zap. So I could go Zap and Crackle there. And just say, next turn I'm not going to do anything. I really want to make sure I have my mana unlocked for turn 5. So I think I will take care of their board real quick. And just in case this can produce something worthwhile for next turn, this looks like hot garbage. So I will pick this one. Don't want to get overloaded next turn. I want to make sure I have 2 mana just in case I want a hero power. Could roll a Taunt Totem, which isn't bad.
Your mind.
And they are going to hero power my face. Fair enough. Can I get a Taunt Totem? Also not bad. They'll likely want to clear that. I'll hover over it like I think it's important. Yes. This is the best totem usually. They didn't fall for it. Very unfortunate. I'm down to 20, which isn't a lot. Double Fellwing. Okay. So I need to draw something worthwhile this turn. Okay. It's not really the best.
You gotta let the music do the magic.
Now here's the question. I think I actually produce a big board this turn. And the way I do that is by going Lightning Bloom, make my egg a little bigger, and maybe this will be enough. Let's swing a little bit of damage at their head. Definitely more of a backup plan. Getting some serious egg value. Void Touched Attendant. Okay, so they are gonna try to kill me with Void Touched Attendant. So I need to shrink their board down considerably this turn. So let's do just that. So we'll go here. This will likely be taking care of this. It's actually a very tricky turn. Maybe... Definitely want to weave in a hero power. Okay, that's actually kind of massive. Yeah, so I want to take care of their 3/3 at least. Get a bit of additional damage there. Swing 1 damage, and I think I'm best off just... So what can they draw? So this is 2, 5... So a damage spell could kill me. So let's play around that and take care of that Void Touched Attendant. This gives me the best possibility of winning, because if this was a Mind Blast, the Void Touched Attendant would have ended the game. And if this is Acupuncture, still would have, I think, because that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Would have been game. And a Raised Dead. Okay, interesting decision to take 3 damage, but I guess, like, what's their alternative?
Relax your mind.
Brain Masseuse, again, will result in them taking a lot of damage. So, let's leave back a 2/1. And also swing in a little bit of damage. And I already have minions on the board for Mindseer to deal me damage. So there's no issue with hero powering. And I have a beautiful little taunt totem. So double Mind Blast does seal the deal, but we know that is not Mind Blast because that is a Raised Dead minion. But can a Void Touched Mind Blast hero power take care of me? It actually is exactly lethal, if that's what they found. There's the Mindseer I was referencing. Hero power my head. And the last card is a Frenzied Fellwing.
You have been.
Cool. Definitely not how this deck should win, But you kind of just like tempo Inzah and play some mediocre overload cards, and you can defeat a Shadow Priest.
Throw versus Gul'dan.
A Warlock opponent.
I am darkness incarnate. Challenge me.
And let's see if we can... My goodness, that is a long voice line. Let's see if we can defeat the Warlock opponent. Likely discard Warlock. Not feeling Overdraft on one. Yeah, let's just throw those back. Dream scenario right there. That way we can guarantee Fairy Tale Forest draws us Inzah. And with my turn 2 being I can't overload, I think first contact on 1 makes the most sense. So turn 2, I'm going to do nothing. But turn 3, we're going to Fairy Tale Forest. Questline. So let's go ahead, dish a few points of damage. And next turn is going to be the Forest. Very early mass production. And then a coining of a hero power. Okay. Sounds good to me. Fairy Tale Forest on 3 is about as perfect as this deck can ask for. Now, disaster situation is if they run Dirty Rat. I would not put it past Questline Warlocks for doing so. So what are they at again? Are they kind of at a low-ish life total for being a Renathal deck, I think. I think 32. 29? They're getting absolutely dunked on. Backfire. And they lost their Renathal. Sad day, I'm sure. Yeah, I'll keep softening them up. They'll make my combo turn a little easier. Which we are looking at a combo turn next turn. Hopefully we can find some Lightning Blooms. That is the one way that this deck can miss. Is if we don't find Lightning Bloom. And for that reason, should I wait a turn? Or should I not be a coward and just say that these 3 draws will likely get me there? It's a good question. We don't play this deck to wait. I think we play this deck to jam the turn 5 win. Especially if I draw like another 0-drop spell, like 4 draws. Be unreal to whiff at that point.
Almost out of time.
And most of my deck is 0 drops, so that should be a reality. Alright, well, let's crack this over my knee and get to buffing up my minions. And we can also do another one. Maybe, okay. Now I feel pretty confident in what I'm doing. Let's go into there. Maybe a Finders Keepers. Finders Keepers will find me an unplayable card. A-okay. Another Finders Keepers will find me yet another more unplayable card. Not bad. Beakered. And this will go upstairs. This will overload me further. Sure, both of them sound great. And then we can Crackle. Maybe a lightning bolt. And just a little bit over lethal. Just a tad bit over lethal. Yeah. So that's about as good as this deck can draw. Turn 5 lethal should be consistent with the Fairy Tale Forest. If it hits Inzah off the first activation, that's perfect. But yeah. That's pretty much this deck. A fellow Shaman enjoyer. I unfortunately am going first, but that's okay, because I have Fairy Tale Forest. Guidance could be decent. Something to do on turn 1. And Voltaic Burst could help with some early game, I guess. Guidance will find me a card I actually play. Snap pick that. Card's absolutely insane in this deck, especially just randomly discovering it. They're playing probably the better Fairy Tale Forest deck. And I will present a hero power to my opponent. Do they have the... Okay, so this swing tells me they have Muckmorpher in hand, which is not great for me. But if I draw Inzah right here, right now, could have won. But maybe they don't actually have it. Always a possibility. So if this is Walking Mountain, honestly, Thunderbringer is... And they also have the Reincarnate. If I have to be honest with you, if you're looking for a Muckmorpher deck to play and your goal is to win, I'd probably play what Up Do is probably playing Big Shaman. Probably want to play Big Shaman instead of Overload Shaman.